Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of the One Step Better podcast. I am Mike Schaefer, and today we're going to have a special episode. Yesterday, Whirks announced a brand new service offering that we launched called our Benefits Services. It's where we're a full insurance brokerage that will help all of our clients with ongoing benefits administration, things like shopping rates with carriers, making sure that employees are enrolled and terminated appropriately from the different lines of benefits, making sure we have competitive rates, things of that nature. You can learn more about all of that on our website, whirks.com. But today's episode, we're going to have a special guest with us named Robbie Bryant. We brought Robbie in about 2 months ago in order to help with the launch of this new service offering. And so we're going to get to know him a little bit about his background, some of the things he's excited for, and he's looking forward to helping our clients with in this new line of services. So listen in, and we would love to have your feedback. Again, you can always email us at onestepbetter@whirks.com, but I hope that you enjoy the episode. All right. Hey, Robbie. How's it going, man?
It's going great. How about you?
Doing well. Well, Robbie, your background is in a lot of different stuff, HR, payroll, operations, benefits. But one of the things that we really brought you on here for is to lead some of our benefit services efforts, which are kicking off this week, which we're pretty excited about. I think it's going to be a really unique offering in the marketplace here in the Memphis area, but to our clients that we serve all over the place. Talk to us a little bit about when we say benefit services, what does that mean?
Sure. So October 4th, we will be kicking it off. Benefit services to me is that we are doing all the things that our busy clients do not want to do so that they can focus on what truly matters for their company. So within the scope of benefit services, we're talking things such as all things administrative work due to enrollment, whether it's life enrollments, new hire enrollments, annual enrollments, the paperwork, getting the information over to the carriers for reconciling those benefit invoices. We'll be doing all things ACA, COBRA administration, etc. So we're really taking the tediousness away from the client so that they don't have to deal with that.
Matt, I know that you've been here for a long time. We've offered group benefits here internally for probably, 8 years or so now. It's been a while.
At least.
I don't know about you, but for me, I didn't realize all of the administrative work that goes into having group benefits.
Absolutely, yeah. I had no idea until you start going, oh, wait, all the little times an employee has a new baby, or they got married, or they adopted a child, all those different things that can trigger benefit changes that you're like, oh, yeah, that's something that has to be managed. Also, make sure the billing is right on the front or back end, like, oh, that person's been gone from our organization for 3 months, and we never took them off benefits. That happens, unfortunately, just through miscommunication.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, and that's expensive, and the carriers don't always make that easy to get that money back if you even can, if it's even possible. So, as you grow, 20 employees, you have to have COBRA. 50 employees, you have ACA requirement, all those things that just kind of happen that you just like, well, how we handle that? Who in my office is going to handle that?
Who's making sure that I'm doing all the things I need to do?
Who has the expertise to know what we're supposed to do? And so that's where we come in, hopefully.
Yeah. There have been statistics that show that up to roughly 25% of every invoice has some sort of discrepancy to it.
Wow.
Whether it's through the adjustments that come through, whether it's an appeal trying to get some money back, or the insurance company, it might be a timing issue. So, that's why it's important to put eyes on this every single month to make sure that, we're saving our clients the money that they should not be paying to insurance carrier unless they have to.
Yeah.
Right?
And what I like about what we're doing here is we're taking both a proactive and a reactive approach in the sense of in that proactive approach, we're really making sure that our benefits are getting set up correctly, that our deductions are correct through payroll, that our benefit plan rates or all that stuff is right. And whereas used to be that was the responsibility of the employer to figure out. We're taking on that responsibility at Whirks and making sure those things are accurate within our systems. But then we have a reactive approach of if something does happen for whatever reason, normally it's the carrier had an update or they didn't communicate or whatever it is. If there is something that did happen that affects your billing, we're going to catch it because we're going to reconcile your benefit statement on a monthly basis.
That's right.
And so it's kind of a dual prong. We want to make sure, because I think last I saw the average insurance premium for group benefits in the U.S. was well over $700.
That's right.
So if you think about it, you miss that once or twice a month, or especially, if you're a larger employer, but if you're a smaller employer, just once or twice a year, I mean, that's just money that's
right.
wasted.
Wasted.
We're going to implement safeguards in 3 areas. The one being our system, the other being the insurance carrier side of the system, making sure that those 2 rates match, but also too, we're making sure that the deductions that are coming out of your employee's paycheck, they're going to be accurate as well. There's nothing worse than having to double up somebody's premiums because we've missed a deduction, or we're trying to catch up, or whatever it may be.
Hey, I'm sorry, you don't get a check this week because we forgot to deduct the past 4
Especially
times.
if it's a medical deduction, it's going to be pretty hefty if we have to double up.
Yeah. And those are the things that we talk about from like our overall idea and missions of what we're trying to do as a company. We're eliminating the friction point between employee and employer that is just unnecessary. It's just out of carelessness. It's out of forgetfulness. It's out of, I didn't even know that was a thing. Whatever that cause is, it's just eliminating that friction point altogether, which I really appreciate.
I always think of this as, our big overlying umbrella of what we do. And so our goal of simplifying their people complexities on the work side for me is this allows us to be kind of the glue between your insurance and your employees and the employer and tying everything together. Like it's not having to play like the telephone game when you're a kid. I also say, the other benefit I really think that this is really helpful for is we all have employees that don't always get their benefits and what that means or what they need to do if something happens. Talk to us about what you guys are going to do with regards to like employee support.
Sure. So we actually will have some support for the employee base, and that's in our competitive environment. That's something that isn't nearly offered at all, right? And if it is offered, it's not offered well. So we want to make sure that we have a direct line of communication to these employees so that we can help answer any questions and revolving around the explanation of benefits, or maybe they need to order a new card, or maybe they just need to understand what their premiums look like and why it looks the way they do, or just anything that they have in regards to insurance. That's what we're here for.
Like that first job, I'm sure that's a stressful time in that employee's life of,
that's right.
I don't have a kid before, it's my first one.
Yeah.
How do I get my kid onto my insurance and all the stuff that's going to go into that?
Letting them know that as soon as your child is born, they're obviously covered, but you've got a certain amount of time before you need to make sure.
I remember the first time I left the hospital with my firstborn, and it was, where's the manual? Like I didn't have a child to care for 3 days ago. I'm now leaving the hospital, and there is nobody with me to care for. Like, is the nurse coming with me? I don't know what I'm doing.
I couldn't even buckle mine in the car seat, much less what am I going to do with insurance?
Right.
Like,
same way.
Do with this?
That was the scariest drive of my life. I remember being my white knuckled going, we're going to go 7 mile an hour home, and I had never put it in the car seat beforehand. I was like, how does this thing work?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a stressful time. So I get it. I mean, and our employees all have those things. And I know that when I was a new employee way back when, a lot of times it's the first insurance thing you've ever had to sign up for. You're on your parents' insurance, or like the first time you've been offered insurance. You're like, what should I choose? And there's all these options, and not everybody has the right people around them to help them.
Well, to your point, process. I mean, if it's me, when I'm just newly onto my own insurance, I'm like, what's the cheapest?
Yeah.
The cheapest might not always be the best thing for you, depending on, your health history or whatever it may be. So that's another reason why let's, give Whirks a call and let's talk through it.
And the reverse of that is in our world, I think our least expensive may be our best coverage.
Right.
And people don't realize why we think it's the best.
I'm on our cheapest coverage.
I'm on our cheapest as well.
The Bron,
Yeah.
Sure.
So it just educate them on, well, you could do this plan, but tell me about what's going on. You may not want to do that. Here's why you don't want to do that. Oh, that makes more sense. And having people that kind of get it from both the insurance side, but also the practical family benefits side is be exciting.
And many times, there's some agents out there that are super great at explaining those things to employers or HR leaders, and even sometimes to the employees. But there's also a lot of agents out there that just simply don't care, and they don't. Those are the plans, and we want to. We believe strongly that HR should be strategic in any organization, and we think this falls under that umbrella of, man, your insurance offerings should be a strategic component of not only recruiting great talent, but also keeping the great talent that you have in the door. And part of that is simply educational. We want you to know what you have available. We want you to know what it means and actually what's best. And so you're absolutely right. Most of the people in that space or in this space doesn't go that extra mile to actually communicate those things directly to employees. Right. And that's a problem that we're going to fix.
But HR is also in the same boat as the employee a lot of times, where they do so much for the organization. They could be a generalist, right?
Yeah.
They might not truly know, what might be your best option. So they're going to put it back on you to read through the summary plan descriptions. And, so I think that's where we have the edge up, and that's where we can truly help and invest in our clients' employees.
It's allowing our employers to leverage their whole team better.
That's right.
The people on their team doing the right things the right way. And, that doesn't mean that they have to be the person that does it. That's what I think it fits with what we do.
Right
really
solution.
Well.
Agreed.
Yep, it's the right solution. So, Robbie, I'm really excited about you joining us. Robbie's been on our team now for a couple months, as we've known Robbie for a couple years, but he's been part of our team now for a couple months. We're figuring out and getting all of our systems and processes in place to be able to launch this here in early October. And so if you're interested in learning more about this, or just want some more information on what it may entail and how it may fit your business, please reach out to us. You can do that directly through our podcast email, which is onestepbetter@whirks.com, or you can give us a call, 901-752-2422, and we'll be glad to help. So thank you guys for listening. And if there's anything that we can do for you, please let us know. Thanks, and have a great day. Thanks for listening to the One Step Better podcast. I'd really appreciate it if you would take some time to rate us 5 stars on your podcast player of choice, and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you never miss out on another episode. Thanks, and have a great day.